Zidane Daney, Electro Ninja here, and welcome back to Electro Ninja's Lab. Oh boy. uh, as you can probably guess, this video is, of course, about My Hero Academia Vigilantes, and more specifically, what comes next for the series. Now, if you haven't read the manga, or if you're not caught up with the manga, then that's understandable, but this video does contain spoilers up until the most recent chapter of the manga over in Japan. So if you're not caught up, then honestly, just leave this video now because it's dangerous. Okay? Cool? Everyone gone who needs to be gone? Okay. So as a quick reminder, the whole series over this entire time has been having these enemies. Basically, the biggest problem in the series are these pop-up villains who have been activated because of a drug called Trigger. Now, of course, we know that this is not the end of the drug. Plain and simple, there's actually very likely a lot of things that they still have to do in order to take down Trigger. But the fact of the matter is that the lead distributor, who was the biggest issue for the heroes, is now dead. The simple fact of the matter is that throughout this entire time, the biggest problems that the vigilantes had to deal with was Knuckle Duster's daughter, who was being controlled by Queen Bee, and then it was number 6, who is basically the main bad guy. Now, obviously, there could still be someone pulling the strings, but basically, at this point, the person who's pulling the strings is frickin'. We now know that it's frickin' All for One. And plain and simple, the vigilantes aren't going to be taking him down anytime soon. And if they are going to be doing more stuff, it's probably not going to be as much dealing with Trigger as it has been. So, yeah. And now that number 6 is most likely dead. If you haven't read the manga, but you're still watching this video, then I'm confused. But basically, Endeavor kills number 6 because number 6 literally falls into the fire. You can see him burning up, and it honestly does look like this is him saying that this is the end for him, which I know that he can regenerate, but honestly, that much fire I can't see number 6 regenerating after that. Now, obviously, there could be something like he ran off after falling into the fire and he's still out there. But honestly, it's so unlikely that even if he did survive that, Knuckle Duster is gotta be somewhere nearby to take him down. If not, I'll be honestly really shocked. But the question then remains, what's next for the series? If you don't know, Vigilantes has been increasing their chapter numbers, but the simple fact of the matter is that in no way, shape, or form are they able to take the remaining chapters and force them into maybe 2 volumes. The simple fact of the matter is that these volumes have been keeping to about 10 chapters per volume lately. And while they could absolutely increase that or decrease that to a certain extent, if they want to actually do this, then the last volume, if this is the last group of chapters, then the last volume is going to be significantly less than, or the last 2 volumes for that matter, will probably be significantly less than all previous volumes. And it's kind of hard to believe that they would go in that direction, being that most likely there would probably be 6 volumes, which would honestly make them about half the size of the normal volumes. I'm dead serious about that. So, honestly, I don't know. I honestly have no idea what they're going to be doing with this. So, maybe we'll just have to wait and see exactly what they decide to do. But, of course, we're going to theorize about what the heck is going to be happening next. So, first off, the battle. At the end of the battle, there's going to be quite a lot happening. But more than likely, they will be pulling the same stunt that they pulled in Hosu, where Endeavor is going to take all of the credit, while the Vigilantes will basically be seen as they made a citizen's arrest. They basically helped and didn't use their quirks or something like that. They basically got the bug out of the girl's head because they knew what to do. Instead of it being the whatever instead of what they actually did. They basically just they got the girl and they got her got the freaking bug out of her head, while Endeavor killed the bug and killed number 6. That's basically what they're going to be probably going with. And honestly, that makes sense. And in return, all of the vigilantes will be given honorary hero cards. Basically, it's to say, hey, thanks for all of your hard work. Don't do this again, but if you absolutely have to pull something like this and you have to help out, you feel like you absolutely can't do any, if you don't do anything, something bad will happen. Here, you can have some honorary card members, but please, if you are actually going to be doing any more hero work, please go and get actual licenses, because this is not going to be a good business model from now on. So please actually do this stuff properly from now on. But we'll just have to wait and see. Boy. Now, obviously, there's a lot that will have to happen for that. So, who knows exactly what they're going to do for this whole situation. But, yeah, it's honestly going to be really interesting to see what exactly they're going to be doing to actually handle this. Obviously, with this whole situation, they're going to have to make a decision. What are they going to do now? Are they going to continue doing their hero work? Are Koichi and Pop going to go off and start a family together, while Knuckle Duster takes his daughter to UA to actually become a hero? All of these questions are left unanswered, and it's honestly an interesting idea to think about what's next for this series. And honestly, I do think that there will be more. I think that Koichi, once he gets his temporary license, is going to be realizing, you know what? Maybe I will try to actually get an actual license. I know I didn't go to actual hero school, but if the police are willing to give me an temporary license, then why not? And he talks it over with Pop, and she agrees. The two of them go and get their licenses, and then they become no longer the vigilantes of this area, but instead the heroes. And it will honestly be a whole interesting situation. The fact of the matter is that they've worked with several heroes in the past, and each of them would probably be willing to give them a little nudge saying, yeah, we'll support you. We'll help you out if you need it, and stuff like that. Ingenium has helped out. All Might has even helped out. Frickin' Aizawa has helped out more than we can count. And many, many more. They've worked alongside Captain Celebrity for a while now. And honestly, if he doesn't give them his support, then I will honestly be surprised as all heck. Now, the other possibility is that they will continue to do their hero work as vigilantes, not necessarily being promoted to full-time heroes, just because of the fact that they've been working like this for a while now. There's a lot to be seen about what the heck is gonna be going on for vigilantes now. Honestly, I do think that they will be continuing to do drug busts, basically continuing to keep drugs off the streets, helping people who don't have the best situations and actually help them to get good jobs, and possibly we'll get to meet even more characters throughout the rest of the story that will honestly make us love the characters even more. The other possibility is that they have to run. The simple fact of the matter is that while Sukauchi is probably on their side, let's be honest, he's probably going to be actually more willing to help them than Endeavor. Endeavor is not a good guy at this point. Remember, this is before he's met Deku, and he's still torturing Todoroki. So I honestly doubt that he's actually going to be very understanding and willing to help out these kids. And instead, he's going to try and take them down. Sukauchi basically gives them a few days to basically pack up and leave as quickly as possible before he is forced to actually hunt them down. And basically, all of the cops are in agreement that right now they will, because of how much good they've done for this community, they're going to let them off for a few days where they can pack up all their stuff and they can leave the States, or leave the Japan, and probably go off to the United States. Honestly, I think that that would be probably the best option, because of the fact that, well, the United States is obviously a very different country, and seeing their transition to the United States would honestly be a really interesting situation for this series. And knowing the fact that Vigilantes is about to get its anime adaptation, and that's one of the biggest things that I think is going to be changing the gameplay for this series. Obviously, what they could do is they could make a few more chapters, and basically they're saying that they're going to move off to Japan. They're going to leave Japan and go to the United States or whatever. And it's basically a nice little end point where they can, where Betten and Furuhashi, I think is the name. I could be wrong. I might be thinking of the other guy. But the two of them can basically take a break, watch what the interaction is from the anime adaptation, and if people are really loving the series, they can continue the series as they go over to America. The fact of the matter is that there have been 2 seasons worth of manga written already. So if they're going to end it, this is probably a decent point to at least take a break, relax, see what the reaction is to the first season, and if it's still going strong, then keep working, and maybe the anime will become, the anime and the manga will keep working together, and My Hero and Vigilantes will eventually catch up to each other. The other fact of the matter is that Vigilantes has been slowly catching up to the normal series, actually faster than you'd believe. As a quick reminder, we're nearing the end of the first year of My Hero Academia. Technically, too, if you want to really stretch that definition, but that's if you're counting the fact that normal My Hero Academia technically started a year early, because of the fact that they started in middle school, or whatever the equivalent is over in Japan, at the end of that point, so that Deku and his classmates could go into UA. So, yeah, we are currently about 2 years away from that point, maybe if we're lucky. But considering the fact that we don't know the exact timing of this whole situation, I can't say for sure. The fact is that we know that Aizawa has been teaching at UA for a few years now, mostly because he's kicked students out multiple times, and he's been actually at UA for a while. It's very clear he's made a name for himself. So, and literally he's just now going to UA to become a teacher in Vigilantes. So there has to be something there. And also, All Might has basically been powerless, or not powerless, but he's been injured since the beginning of the series, probably just had his battle with All for One, probably during the first few chapters of the actual anime or of the actual manga. So I don't know. It's really hard to say for sure, but honestly, like I said, I do feel like at this point we are maybe 2 years away from the point when Deku and All Might meet for the first time. So unfortunately, we're just gonna have to wait and see. But honestly, like I said, I do think that that whatever's going to be happening next is going to be a slowing down and a preparing for transition. A few chapters, basically saying, okay, here's the end of this arc. This is a huge arc ending. We're gonna do a short little transitional arc, and that's basically saying, okay, if we actually continue the series, this is where it's going to be picking up. But this is the end of the last volume, unless the anime does well. That's basically what I'm imagining they're going to say. But honestly, we'll just have to wait and see exactly what they decide to do, because Vigilantes is weird, in a very weird situation, and honestly, we'll just have to wait and see exactly what Betancourt and the other guy, I forget what his name is. I think it's Furuhashi, but I think that might actually be the other guy, the one who does the. Nope, that's on Ryoshi. So yeah, Furuhashi is the actual author of the other author kind of thing. One of the two people that works on Vigilantes. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, though. If you have, please leave a like. Leave your thoughts and theories down in the comments below. If you are going to leave a theory, make sure to say theory review somewhere in your comment. And of course, if you are new, please subscribe and ring that notification bell. But anyways, guys, I've been Electro Ninja, and I will see you guys next time. Oh, before I forget, big thank you to our current Patreon supporter, Sheeny. But on.